Hello, everyone. Namaste. Welcome. Deb Sheppard Live. I'm here with behind scenes as Dana, managing all the technology.
Hi.
If this is your first time here, I'm so much in gratitude. If you're a constant follower, woo woo. Thank you even
You
more.
have the experience.
You know how this works. If you're looking for a reading, of course, today we do that a little bit later on, but I just want to welcome everybody. We want to do some shout outs, talk about what Dana and I did this last weekend and what's coming up
Well,
here
let's
soon.
start with there.
Sure. So, Dana and I, and a couple of the soul sisters that are in one of my programs,
The solution,
Solutions,
which opens in January again.
Good, yeah. We went to Camp Aaron, which is here in Colorado, and Mount Evans is the location. And it was through Shimmering Wings that our wonderful person, Barb Camblett, is the organizational foundation. And
She's the director,
she's
the
the
executive
director.
yeah.
She has a magic wand. And we probably had 88 kids from
88 kids, yes.
Yeah, from 6 to 15, I think it was, helping them through grief and loss. And my son went to a camp like this twice, and it really helped him. And it was great being part of it. um, it was exhausting. Some of those kids have a lot of energy.
The 6 to 9s are like little tornadoes, all in
Anyone
each,
that
each of them. But
anyone
they were
that's
amazing.
a teacher, whatever. Yeah, it was great
amazing.
watching everyone come together. My heart and our heart was just there watching all these kids. A lot of them had lost fathers in the group from all different ways and things like that. But if you have a child that you would like to have be part of this program, or you want to donate your time, let us know.
Wings.
Shimmering Wings, Barb Camblett, she is the one. And I'm also still wearing my bracelets. One says "fuck cancer" inside.
In French.
In French.
Just kidding.
For our dear sister too, Megan, that is fighting cancer, and we want to send her lots of love. So, any shout outs? I have a card I pulled that I want to talk about.
Yes, let's do some shout outs here in a second. If you're looking for a reading today, I know many of you know that Deb does live readings on these Facebook Lives every Wednesday. Here's what we need. Elizabeth is behind the scenes. She's picking the recipients today randomly. If you want to receive a reading, make sure you type in the first name of your loved one that you want to connect with and what their relationship is to you. So my son, Daniel, whatever the case is, if it's your child, as in that example, Deb would like you to type in their age. And on Instagram, all your amazing Instagram handles, some of them we can read, some we can't. So if you just put your first name in there as well, that would be helpful as we do call out who is going to receive the reading. And with that, shout outs, right?
Shout outs, yeah. And I pulled a card today.
Yes.
To talk about
some
that.
Spirit guidance for the week, right?
Absolutely.
So we have Ann Rogers, who is on YouTube from Lakewood.
Former student.
Gigi Payan, who's up in Oklahoma. I guess you'd say over in Oklahoma. Nancy from Centennial. Dustin Bryant on YouTube from Indiana.
I lived in Indiana, guys.
Yeah, just Marcia from Ohio.
I lived in Ohio.
We love to see where you're from. We've got Lindsay over in Denver off on Instagram. And yeah, lots of people on. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks. And we had lots of rain here in Colorado yesterday, so I'm not sure what's going on in your neck of the woods, but it was nice to get some rain. But boy, has the season's been crazy. So I pulled a card for us to share today, and it's through Sandra Ann Taylor, Energy Oracle Cards. And we talked
about on your podcast.
Yeah.
Spirited Straight Talk.
Spirited Straight Talk. If you haven't followed our podcast, energy is a very interesting thing. When we talked about the camp a few minutes earlier, great to see these kids, letting them understand that you can still be a kid and learn to grieve at the same time. And it's okay to cry or not to cry, and all those emotions that we feel. And what you can kind of look at is, what is our value? Where do we show up in these people's lives as well as our own life? And what I talk about in so many of my programs is how do we get our value? How do we understand what our worth is? And what we're being paid doesn't really equate to what we're worth. So you look at a sports figure versus a teacher, right? There's big differences. Money doesn't change your value or worth, but it's finding out where your worth is and how you feel that is versus getting it from other people, that we feel like it's important that if we're valued from others, that means we are a good person, when really the value comes from within. What gives you something that makes you feel good about who you are? And if we look for validations, it's really about our ego versus the true value. And it's very interesting how we determine what someone's worth is. And of course, we were up there with our dear friend Julie, that has another program that our foundation that we get involved with called the Chelsea Hutchinson Foundation. And she,
No N.
no N,
Yeah,
Hutchinson.
in case you guys Google it, Chelsea Hutchison. Yeah.
And that foundation was designed for their daughter, that Chelsea, that died at I think 16 of a SUDEP, which she died in her sleep from a seizure.
Sudden unexpected death and epilepsy, and it can
In
happen
fact,
anytime during the day or night, or
so they
doesn't
raised
matter.
money for response dogs, which is amazing, alerts, education, support, all those things. And our value doesn't come from always giving back or expecting people to value us. It comes from just within. Where do you see your value and worth? And if you have a story from when you were a child or early on that people didn't see your worth or value, remember your value comes from within. And how do you find those ways to open those doors, to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I do bring value to this planet? And it could be that you recycle really well, or that you compliment people, or you try to give back in ways that sometimes it's better that it's kind of a hidden gem that you bring.
Yeah. Well, in your class, in the solution class, at the very beginning, one of the assignments is that you have your students start thinking about 100 things that they love about themselves,
Right.
which is a really, really difficult assignment that you give them, because most people, we don't see ourselves in that way. And it's not like it's an ego thing, but it is
Confidence. It lets you be able to deal with things and not look for approval when you want to make a decision. So many times we hold back our voice or our power from doing things we'd love to do or would like to try because we're worried about other people judging us. And that value really doesn't come from judgment. It comes from, people are going to judge us no matter what, but it doesn't create a value. I'm judged for what I do, but it doesn't create my value.
So the question I'm getting right away is 100?
100
things sounds really hard.
It does, but think about it. Let's say you do recycle. Let's say that you're a person that stops at every stop sign. You remember birthdays. You make a great lasagna. You pay your bills on time. We don't look at these other attributes as a good thing. We just think that's what you're supposed to do. Maybe you're always on time for people. That's a big one, to be on time and to respect other people's time and energy. So again, it's looking at all these little things that you do bring together, and you fill that bucket with a pretty amazing individual. But we start taking that out because we don't see those things as worthy. It has to be big. And especially with technology these days, everything is being judged and videoed and critiqued, and high fives or whatever it is, and we have to look, to me, deeper to really feel that we don't need that from the outside world.
Right.
And it's hard because we're taught that what other people think is important, and you know what? That's not always true.
Yeah. So let's see. Michelle Jaramillo says, I love that assignment, but I'm not sure I can find 100, but I'll give it a shot.
Good. I'll help
Good
you.
job.
Good for you.
Yeah. So value is a big deal.
It is. It's always in the classes.
Yeah.
It's always something we talk about, and it's encouraging yourself. And I think we look for approval. I mean, how many likes did we get? We're looking for feedback
And
constantly.
validation from others versus validation within ourselves.
Mhm.
We recently read a very, I don't want to say disturbing, but we questioned a post,
Mhm.
and and the way that it was worded was really questioning. There's somebody questioning their own value and looking to the outside for their value.
Yeah, and it's not from
And
the
it's-
outside,
Yeah.
but it's how our society is designed. But that gets us into trouble.
Yeah. Gigi says, accepting ourselves is so hard and we forget that it holds such importance. She's on Facebook. And then Sugar Cookie, which I like your name on Instagram. That's a great handle. She needed to hear this today. She said, I needed to hear this today. Hashtag self-love.
Thank you. And Gigi, I grew up with a girlfriend that died a couple of years ago. Her name was Gigi. And I also have some other friends that had lost a daughter named, no, I think their daughter's name is Gigi, was Gigi that they passed. So that name
Gigi.
is really lovely to me. So anyway,
Yeah.
this card was great. Door to value. How do we decide where our value is? And it really is something that I think we all struggle with. You see this with young people. This is why we see mental health and suicide, is that we keep looking outside of us. And I know that I'm on a social media platform, and you're looking for things to validate, but it doesn't create my value within. I do this to give back to my community.
Right.
With all
Not that
the
it creates
charities.
our value
No.
for sure, but it's
But
definitely
I see a value
the
to my community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the community, building a community.
And it's also seeing a value to our community.
Yeah. So we're going to do some mini readings to start out here. And Deb, I'll let Deb talk about how she gets
Sure.
messages. Hopefully you won't start coughing.
No, I
or...
already did that. Yeah. One of the things I was teaching in my recent class this month, actually, it was all about our clairs and understanding where all of our senses and how they all play a role in as a medium and psychic, what we use. And all of us uniquely feel differently in the way we get information, but basically we're channeling information and we blend all those things that we're getting to give you kind of the shorthand version of what we're getting.
Not everybody has your abilities, though.
No, but they're
And
still all
just-
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's different.
And they use them
What's
differently.
cool about you is that you use all of your clairs.
So
You
am I
have
sharing or
all
you?
of your senses. I'm just talking about what's really cool.
Yeah, she's definitely passed me on the back. Thank you so much. Really, I appreciate
I
it.
support you.
Yes, you do. And maybe that's the difference between value, getting approval versus supporting. To look at those being two different things. People
Yeah.
are looking at that.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
So I hear, see, taste, and smell, which means I use all my clairs. My empathic abilities, feeling is really the priority. I can feel older, younger, male or female, personality traits. And then I hear, taste, see things to be able to blend all that data together. So it's sort of like downloading information and compiling it in a spreadsheet.
Right.
So
The day Deb Sheppard touches a spreadsheet.
Yeah, no. But I bring all that together and give you information about how it comes through. And again, it's basically a shorthand. I call it psychic charades. Our interpretation, for me anyway, is, especially in this kind of setting, is I have a minute to give you as much information as possible. In a private session, I don't ask you for any information. We, have you write down people who passed. We go into it that
For
way.
your own information.
Yeah,
Not for ours.
Not for us. So in these type of settings, we get information so I can download and do a spreadsheet before I give a reading.
Right. So Gigi says she loves Wednesdays. It's like spiritual therapy. Lesson.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Please,
That's awesome.
I hope Gigi, you're listening to the Spirited Straight Talk podcast.
Yeah, so much information on there. And over the next 3 weeks, we're re-releasing our top 3 and why we think they're our top 3. But yes.
We get a lot of feedback regarding our podcast, especially
Yeah.
toxic. People like the toxic people one. So if you have toxic people in your life, definitely, it was just a couple weeks ago
Mhm.
we did that one.
Okay, so we have a couple of, actually, Misty Miller, would you email Elizabeth at debsheppard.com? I'm going to show that on the screen for just a moment. Go ahead and email Elizabeth at debsheppard.com real quick. Let me see here. We've got, the first one is on Instagram. It's JDT Yancey and wants to connect with parents John and Joyce.
Okay, and who am I talking to? What's his name?
JDT Yancey. So I'm not sure of the name. We've asked for people to put their names in, so
All these
you could
J's.
still do that. But if you
Um,
guys on Instagram are seeing a little screen thing happen, ignore it. We're coming back.
um, the feeling I get, JD, is something about the passing of your parents. Like normally we have a father that dies before the mother, but it feels like either it was reversed or something was reversed regarding, like, let's say your mom was really sick, but then your dad died first. Something around the timing of their death is odd, or something that is a curious thing or a conversation. I also feel like there was some um, maybe drama or some legal stuff or some dispute with other family members regarding their passing, or things that choices that had to be um, done. And I'm feeling like someone is carrying some guilt around one of their passings. So this could be could have, would have, should have, didn't have a conversation, things like that. This family, and maybe this is you, JD, I just feel like things are very, I'm going to use the word militant, and it's probably too strong of a word, but things have to be a certain way. So, who was the controlling person? Was this you or your family or someone trying to really control these situations? So, I have more questions than I do anything on that one.
So share some information and
If you have some
Deb
questions,
can,
yeah,
yeah.
about that, because it
Um,
feels like it's just
Initially,
odd.
they just said you're amazing. So yeah,
That person?
fill in some questions here, and then we'll circle back with you as soon as you can. Um, do you want to wait for a moment, or you want to go to a mini Facebook one?
I'm fine.
Okay. So Libby on Facebook wants to connect with her boyfriend Ricky.
Okay. Um, First thing I get, Libby, is Ricky's kind of crossing his arms. I think he's too young. This is a feeling of more of, I don't know if I believed in this, or sort of like, wow, this can really happen. I feel like his passing was also somewhat unexpected. And he's also feeling like he should have proposed. You should have been married. But I feel like there was some rocky energy before he died. So this could have been where you guys were or what was going on in his life, a little bit of this rockiness. He's given me a thumbs up. I'm okay. I feel this very much of a sternness, but I feel like Ricky, when he was in that great place, that fun place, you just had a blast. But I definitely see this. I keep seeing rocky roads. So this could be throughout your relationship or near the end, or now this is how he died. But I keep getting this rocky road. Or you love Rocky Road ice cream, which I totally do.
Okay. Again, Misty Miller, go ahead and email Elizabeth at debsheppard.com. We're going to see if we can't connect you with Deb for a reading. Let us know if you're not, if you're
Unable.
if you're unable. Yeah. Okay. And on the Instagram one, so JD, her name is Joy. She said her dad passed first when he was in a coma. Mom passed several years later with equally dramatic details and situation.
Okay, yeah, it just feels like drama or confusion or things like that. They are together, they are okay. Um, Joy, I just feel like turbulence around this. It's funny because that next session was the same thing. I just feel like there was a lot of turbulence, like unsettled. Just know whatever you believe in, Joy, that they are okay. They are okay. I feel like um, the stuff that they had here is really relieved, and I feel like they want to have you kind of release anything around the heaviness regarding their passing. And even if John, your dad, was in a coma, it's again making those choices about what to do legally to let him go ahead and pass.
Okay. Validations always, when you guys receive a reading, are always helpful. On the one, the Libby,
Mm-hmm.
she said you were right on. Always had fun, and he suffered a lot at the end.
Okay.
And yeah. Um, so yeah, validations are always good. So let's go to YouTube. We got a Joanne who wants to connect with one of her brothers. So let's say Terry.
She got several of them.
Yeah, she's got several.
Does she have 3?
And, well, surprisingly, there are 3 on here, but
Okay.
yep, Terry, there are 3.
Okay.
I didn't even tell you 3.
Because they're saying there's 3 of them there.
Terry, Mike, or Ed. Yes. I
And-
love it when stuff like that
Yeah,
happens.
I know. I'm like, I'm getting 3 of them. I
3,
feel like
yep.
it's the 3 Stooges. They're having their arms over each other like we're here. I feel like their deaths were out of order as well. So it's, when you look at ages or situations, like this should be the order. And I feel like there was an out of order sequence. I don't feel like they died together. 2 are similar, 1 is different. So the 2 that are similar could be personalities, died similarly or something like that, but they're doing 2 and 1. I feel like there's a lot of humor here. Like they're saying to me, Joan, they're going, they do not know how you survived all these brothers and siblings. And they're telling me too, it's sort of like you're one of the last Mohicans. So you maybe have had a lot of losses, maybe it's parents as well or other people, that you're just wondering why you are the lone wolf, or you're this individual that feels like everyone around you is passing. So, why is this? You're asking a lot of questions. And they're definitely feeling that they do haunt you. They play tricks. I'm seeing these brothers causing havoc maybe in your life. So they're definitely okay. I feel like there's a lot of loved ones for you. They're bringing through a dog for me. And this feels like a meat, like the size of maybe a lab dog. So I'm assuming this could be a dog of the family or maybe a recent passing for you. And they're showing me a candle, which usually means there's a celebration that just passed or is coming up, and it would be within the 30 days. So birthday, anniversary, death, whatever, celebration, but that's what they're sharing with me. Joanna, you've got a lot of energy on the other side, and there's a lot of them around you. So
her dad is also passed. I
Okay.
believe. Yeah.
Okay, all these men.
And she said, yes, there are 3. Oh my God, they loved each other like that. There was middle, first, then youngest.
Mm-hmm.
I have many scars and love each of them. I miss them so much.
Yeah.
And Mike's birthday was August 10th.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, Deb Sheppard.
Wow. That's when it's good.
Yeah. And on Instagram, validation is tearfully sending thanks. You're right on the mark, still trying to release the drama, responsibilities, and any control that was lost. That was Joy.
Okay.
JD.
Yeah.
Back to, let's see.
And thanks for doing the validation. It does create my value. Not really. I really want the validation. It does help for me to do this. So there is that encouragement. But for people that are watching or signing on, things like that, it really helps them to say, okay, I didn't get a reading, but look what came through.
Yeah. And sometimes messages are meant for more than one, too.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Because this is all collective energy.
Absolutely. So if you have a similar situation, they're coming through for you as well.
All right. So we want to have Marie Lynn Gabriella connect with Elizabeth at debsheppard.com. Just email her real quick and we'll try to get you on with Deb. Again, Marie Lynn Gabriella.
So Misty didn't make it
She
on.
wants to connect with her hubby, Paul. Misty didn't make it on. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's do a mini reading for Misty. Never mind. So we may get to Misty. It's a little bit of a delay, I think, but we're getting on with Misty here in one moment. And in the meantime, Eileen on Instagram wants to connect with her husband, Ed.
Okay, Eileen. Ed is a stubborn man. First thing I get. I love him. I enjoy him. I would love to hang out, have a beer, whatever. Ed feels very traditional kind of guy. Here's my recliner. Here's my sport. Here's what I like to do. I feel like he was ill before he passed. I feel like he was definitely cared for and loved. He is, I think maybe not religious is the word I'm getting, but I don't feel like this would have been something he would have participated in. So he's kind of cracking up. He is definitely not alone. So either he has brothers or your brother-in-laws, but he's got some males with him. And I also feel like it might be your dad that's passed, but he's there with a father figure as well. and he's got a big smile on his face, like crack, like Eileen, I made it. Eileen, I'm good. I'm here.
All right, and then let's go ahead and go to Marie with her husband Paul.
Okay. Oh, she's not coming on?
No.
Okay. Marie, that's my middle name. Deborah Marie. Paul feels, I feel heaviness in my chest. Smart guy. There's a sense that you can't fool him. Like I feel like he had a great poker face, but he could really read people well or understood people well. I'm also feeling a sense of pride in either his work or things that he did when he was here. There's a sense of, gratitude. I keep seeing uniform, and this doesn't mean he served in the military or he wore a uniform in his job, but I feel like there's this pride of what he did here and a sense of somewhat of accomplishment. He says to me, he sends you coins. I'm seeing quarters. I don't usually get quarters, so maybe he's trying to give you the bigger coins versus the pennies, but I'm getting definitely gets the coins. I'm smelling outdoors, but I'm smelling like I smell the ocean, and I also smell like wood burning. So if there's something that's connected with being on the beach and having a fire going, or you're going to a place of an island or something, just let me know. That's what I'm getting from him.
Cool. Yeah, share validation when you get it. So we have Misty on, and she is waiting in the background. So we'll bring her on.
What
with
she want
you.
to connect with?
She wants to connect with her mom, Carolyn. And so I'm going to bring her on with us, with you. There she is.
Hi, Misty.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. I'm sorry about your loss of your mom. She hasn't been gone very long, has she?
About 3 years. 3 or 4.
Yeah. She's telling. Why am I seeing Martha Stewart?
She was a Martha Stewart.
Okay. I'm getting like things had to be done. Martha Stewart. I adore Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, but the feeling I get is, having the place setting, having things done correctly, and just enjoying that. Does that make sense, Misty?
Yes,
Okay. Was she also sick before she passed?
she was.
Because my body hurts, my shoulders hurt, my body hurts. I feel just tired, and I feel like she fought the fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she had blood leukemia.
Okay, and she's also laughing that, did she even try to like at the hospital or whatever, like change the room or make things like the sheets better or the smell or something?
I'm not sure. She might have mentioned it.
Okay, I just feel like they could be doing better is the feeling I get.
Yes.
Okay. Also, I think she knew her stuff. She also is letting you know that you did everything she needed. So this is either during she was sick or after she was sick or after she died, what you did and what you put together. She goes, quit worrying about the worry. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And why am I seeing you know how sometimes people put a ring band on their thumb?
I'm not sure.
Is your dad passed?
No, my dad is still alive.
Is he reconnected with somebody? Or has met somebody?
No.
Okay. I don't know what your mom is showing me, a male ring on the thumb. So if your dad is still alive and he's not in a relationship, I'm not sure unless he's still wearing the wedding ring or he doesn't know what to do with her passing.
I'm not sure. My daughter just got married.
Okay.
Maybe her husband's ring.
Do you feel like your dad is honoring your mom?
I think my dad regrets.
Okay, I'm going to go there. It's not about your daughter because I would see something different. I feel like that's a symbolism of regrets around your mom then.
Yeah.
That would make more sense to me than the other pieces. It's like, I don't know what to do with the marriage. So if he has regrets from the past and before she died, she's acknowledging it by showing me a male ring on the thumb. Like maybe he never showed up as the husband he could have been.
Yes.
Okay. She's also feeling relieved. I feel like your mom had the best life she could. She really, even with struggles, your mom put one foot in front of the other. Does this resonate?
Yes.
And she says, I know you wish that I would be here because you were closer to her than your dad.
Yes.
And she says, I know what you want. It's okay to feel that way.
Okay.
Okay. And she's also said that your daughter married a good looking dude.
Yes.
And that he is also smart.
Yes.
And she says, did your daughter also honor your mother in her wedding?
Yes. She
And,
did.
and she says that did she change her wedding dress at the end, or did she do something to her wedding dress? Like it was supposed to be off the shoulders, and there's something around the neckline.
I'm not that I'm aware of. I changed my dress.
Okay, so you changed your dress. What was the neckline about?
It was either to have it down or up on my shoulder.
Okay, so your mom is bringing this up about your dress, so you know without a doubt your mother was present at the wedding.
Thank you.
That's the weird stuff you want to come through in a reading.
Yes.
Okay, and she says you look good in the color even though you kept messing with the dress.
Yes.
Okay, how does that feel?
Feels wonderful.
Good. Well, I feel like it was a pretty wedding. I feel like it was bling and outdoorsy or something.
It was up in Pikes Peak, Colorado.
Okay, so was there some bling with some outdoor stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so that means your mom was there.
Love
Well,
it.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Misty. Sorry about the loss, but I'm glad you were patient getting on with us.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on today. Just remember too, you guys can book a session with Deb. Just jump on the website, call me. Don't pay any attention to people reaching out to you on any platform via messenger.
We have
Deb will
scammers.
not do that.
Don't
Call us directly.
Call us directly.
Yeah.
And follow my podcast, Spirited Straight Talk. We get so many great feedback from it, and they're short. They're not really long. There's a couple of them that are longer, but most of them are 40 minutes. So everyone has time for that when they're driving to work or picking up the kids. And Dana's on there with me, so we get to banter back and forth. Also, we have some workshops coming up, so look for those. And again, remember, even though that your loved ones are on the other side, they are always by your side. Thank you, and namaste, and being here with us. I'm Deb Sheppard.